Okay, so I thought I'd film a video today on how to make chocolate strawberries, and I've just got the stuff that I will be using here. So you'll need some chocolate, preferably dark because it tastes the best, some white chocolate to add some decorations on top, a little icing bag set. If you don't have one of these, you can make an icing bag using parchment paper afterwards. 2 little containers to melt the chocolate in. So this one's obviously for the dark chocolate and this one's for the white chocolate. Some strawberries, some parchment paper and a tray. Okay, so first I will start by washing the strawberries and then drying them. It's really important for you to dry them with tissue or something to get all the water out, otherwise the water will mix with the chocolate and it won't, when you freeze it to make the chocolate harden, it won't harden properly and it will become like moist and look kind of sweaty. Well, I'll just show you, hold on, let me just go and wash them. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm going to choose the strawberries that I want to use and I'm just going to rinse them. So, those ones. Just rinsing them and putting them on a plate. So I'm just going to do this and then I will be back. Okay, so these are the strawberries that I have chosen and fully washed. Now I'm just going to pat them dry with tissue, like you can use like kitchen roll like this, and make sure that the plate that you're placing them on as well is completely dry, because like I said, you want to take out all the moisture from them. So I'm just using a big paper cloth and patting trying to get all the moisture out of the strawberry. Just gonna pat that dry. I'm gonna do this with the rest and then I will be back soon. You can just give them a tight little squeeze and it should take most of the moisture out, like this one. Just pressing it gently. I know it looks like I'm doing it hard, but I'm not. These are some that I've already done. Okay, so these are my dry strawberries now. I have taken most of the moisture out of them by gently squeezing with one paper towel. You don't really need more. If you find that your paper towel gets really wet, or I don't know, you might have picked up a moldy strawberry that's a bit too ripe and has like softened up in the tissue, which has caused the tissue to become like really soggy and stuff, then obviously change the paper towel. Now I'm going to go on to melt the dark chocolate. What I'm going to do is break some pieces. Let me just open this, hold on. Okay, so I've broken up my dark chocolate and my white chocolate. I used the whole packet for the dark chocolate because I am making quite a few strawberries, you just see over there. And before, when I've done this in the past, I think I have used the whole packet. So I'm just going to go and temper the chocolate. Now there's a specific way to do this. You have to heat the chocolate to a high temperature. In short seconds. So we're going to do 30 seconds stir, 30 seconds stir, 30 seconds stir until it's completely melted. And we have to temper it because when you freeze it, you don't want the chocolate to just melt off the strawberries when you take the strawberries out of the freezer. So it's really important to temper the chocolate first, and you do that by melting it. You can't melt it on the stove because it won't be tempered. It needs to be done in this specific way. Like 30 seconds stir, 30 seconds stir, 30 seconds stir. So it's nearly, this is the second time I'm doing it now. I need to stir it. After the first time you might find that you won't be able to stir the chocolate because it's still too hard. But after the second time, after 1 minute, it should be a bit softer. So let's just see. Yeah, you can see that's already softening up. So I'm just gonna give this little stir. Just kind of like push the cubes into the melted chocolate, and it will just help the whole thing to melt together. Let me just get a little you want to get a little plate as well for you to put that dirty spoon on, because you don't want chocolate getting anywhere and you don't want your parents to get mad at you, especially your mom. So I'm going to put that in again for an extra 30 seconds. You want to line your tray that you have. If you don't have a tray, you can just use a large plate or 2 small plates or whatever. I'm going to line this with parchment paper because you don't want the chocolate strawberries to stick to the tray once you pop this in the freezer. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So now I've got parchment paper on my tray and my strawberries are there. I'm going to go ahead and check on my chocolate. It's quite a bit of chocolate on my finger there. Just licked it off. So you can see it's kind of like nearly melted. You just want to put it in for another 30 seconds, I'd say, just to make sure it's like smooth and runny, so that when we dip our strawberries in there, it will be easier for us to work with. So it's just about done. When you see it like that, you'll see you just need to do it one more time. Okay, now our chocolate is really melted. You don't want to overcook it, so make sure you, ooh, a little bit of chocolate got somewhere. See, that's like more runny now. So runny consistency, if you can see by that. Sorry about the bad quality of the camera. I'm filming on my iPhone, and I've only got 2 hands. So you can see there, it's quite melted. Now you can take this over to your, wow, that looks so good. Let me just get my plate as well, because I don't want to be making a mess. Just going to pop this where I'm working. That's a dirty wet plate over there. Keep the white chocolate aside for now, because you're not going to use it until you take the strawberries out of the freezer. So now I'm going to go ahead and take some strawberries. So swivel the plate around to the first set that you dried, because obviously they're going to be drier than the ones that you did last. So I'm going to take a strawberry. Let me roll my sleeves up. You want to take the spoon out, and this is the messy part. What you're going to do here is, what you're going to do here is dip the strawberry in, coat it, and pop it on the parchment paper. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Dip in. Oh, didn't know that I wasn't filming in the right place. The chocolate's still a bit hot. And you just want to like turn it in there and pop that there. And you go ahead, repeat this process with the rest of the strawberries. You want to coat that with chocolate. Drip off any excess, turn it that way, and then put it there. Okay, so this is all my chocolate coated strawberries. I didn't have enough space on my tray, so I got another plate to put the last 3. I also dropped one, so I'm not going to use that. Now I'm going to pop these in the freezer for about 10 minutes, I'd say, to temper the chocolate. Make sure it's all frozen. Don't leave it in for longer than 10 minutes, because then when you take it out, it will just go wrong. Just leave it in for about 8 to 10 minutes, I'd say. And it was just the right amount of chocolate. There's just a little bit left, maybe enough for maybe two more strawberries, so that's alright. Like, I mean, I planned it correctly, but those 2 I can't use because one's mouldy and one fell on the floor. So I will be back shortly. Right, so while you're waiting for that to freeze, you want to melt your white chocolate. So you're going to do the same thing. Just pop that in the microwave and do 30 seconds stir, 30 seconds stir, 30 seconds stir. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. So I'm just waiting for the last burst of 30 seconds. Then I'm going to mix it up again. Okay, so this should be done now. As you can see, it's there. You don't want to overheat it again. So just check that it's done. Yep, that's perfect now. What I'm going to do is let it cool for a little while. So you can fill it in your pastry bag. Okay, you want to have a separate plate, clean plate as well, just in case it comes out of your pastry bag when you're filling it up. The one I'm using is from this Tala icing bag set. That one. Oops, upside down. This Tala icing bag set. So I will be using my pastry bag, obviously, that comes in it. And just make sure it's clean. If it's not, then you have to rinse it and completely dry it before putting your chocolate in. And you want to take the straight nozzle, the one that's just a little circle. You don't want to get any fancy tips, because this will give you the finest, well, this is the finest tip, so you can create whatever design you want. And typically we do the zigzag line on the chocolate strawberries. So that's the tip you're going to be using. My family just came over, so I'm going to film here now. Now I'm just going to fill the bag with the white chocolate. I've already attached my nozzle, onto this. So I'm just going to do that now. Now that that's full, I'm just going to go and get my chocolate strawberries, and then I will show you how to decorate them. So I'm going to go ahead and probably start with these strawberries. And don't worry if the strawberries stuck to the bottom, because obviously you're going to put these on plates, so it doesn't matter. And I'm just going to go ahead and... So I'm just going to go ahead and do that on all of them. And it doesn't matter if it's messy, because sometimes it looks nice and messy. I'm just going to go ahead, do it on all of these strawberries. Then once you're done with this, you're going to pop them back in the fridge for, well, freezer for another 10 minutes, just to make sure everything's fully set. Sometimes the chocolate might melt in your hand from your pastry bag, but don't worry about that, just keep going until you're done with everything. Okay, and then on places where you feel like you need more, just go over. And like I said, it doesn't matter if it's a bit messy, because it looks nice like that. Might want to do some random designs. And yeah, that's about it. Then you're going to pop these in the freezer for an extra 10 minutes, take them out, and then you can just arrange them on whatever plate you want to arrange them on. So this, well, obviously when you take these off, they'll be clean. I'll show you the finished product and how I arrange them in a minute. So see you soon. Okay. So the plates I'll be using are just some pure plain white and gold plates. If I did have more time, then I would wash up the pastry bag and use the same nozzle to do like a dark chocolate kind of design on the plate, and then pop that in the freezer with the plate inside. So then when I put the strawberries on top, it will look nicer. So that's another tip you can, that's another thing you can do. Once I did make a chocolate bowl to hold the strawberries, but chocolate bowls are nicer to do, to use for ice cream if you want to do that. So I'm just going to get my strawberries out of the fridge now, out of the freezer. So they are like this. You can check if, you can check with the white chocolate on the parchment paper if it's still, you can see that's completely hard now. Just going to taste it to see if it's soft or hard, if it needs to be. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that in for another 5 minutes, because it does feel a bit soft when I put it in my mouth. So now I've taken them out of the freezer. They look like this. I'm just going to arrange them onto these plates. So you want to pick it up from the, what do you call it, from the green bit, and take off any excess chocolate. So I'm just going to clean it up a bit. So this is how I've arranged my chocolate strawberries. I know some of them look a bit messy, some of them look nicer than others. And please let me know if you would like to see more desserts and food related videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.